All right, everyone, we're back here on Swarm Talk. Bryce Koon, and I have a special guest with me. He had to take an exam last night, so he could not hop on, but that's good because he's got to make sure that he can transfer everything over. I got Chase Lane here with me. Chase, we were just talking before we went on air here. It's been a whirlwind. Kind of describe what the past 24, 48 hours have been like for you.
Yeah, man. So, just for starters, thank you for allowing me to come on this show, man. Swarm Talk. I'm excited. Just get down in the conversation. But yeah, when I first announced it, I was actually taking an exam at that moment, like you said, and I had my notifications on for Instagram and Twitter, and it was just like zzz, 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 and it was blowing up. My social media was blowing up, and I kind of got distracted for a minute, so I had to turn off my notifications. But like when I went back and looked, and just saw everyone from Georgia Tech showing love, it was a really good feeling.
You've already interacted with some of the fans. This is a fan base, man. That there's no secret. They're ready. They're ready to get back on top. They're ready to win. Kind of what it made Georgia Tech the place for you. Why is this the destination you want to go to next?
Yeah, so just when I hit the portal, leaving A&M, great school, great coaching staff, great team. I didn't really feel like I got the opportunity to really show what I can do on the field, and I felt like I've grown in all areas, off the field, and in terms of just like leadership, and just that being that good teammate in the locker room. But I kind of was just looking for an opportunity for myself to, you just go out there and just ball
Mm-hmm.
because my ultimate goal is to play the next level. So when I had the chance to, sit down with Coach Key and with Coach Faulkner, they came down to College Station. We went out to lunch, man, and it was just like a great conversation. And their goals and their the way that they want to run the program kind of aligned with what my goals were, my individual goals. And so doing it in a city like Atlanta, from a school like Georgia Tech, just from everything that it embodies and encompasses academically, I just felt like Georgia Tech was a school to give me that best chance to get to the next level.
You mentioned Coach Faulkner. It was announced, kind of started to come out publicly that this is the guy that's going to be the new OC. Tech fans hadn't heard from him, and really they didn't want to, man. Him being a Georgia guy, they were like, oh, what do we think
Yeah.
about him? They know his story with Stetson Bennett, what he's been able to do, but what kind of insight can you give the fans? What's Buster Faulkner like?
Man, he's just a dude who really just loves the game of football. And just I feel like when in the first 20 minutes, like I already knew like that was a guy who I wanted to play for. Just the philosophy that he has when it comes to football. Just he just loves the game of football, and he's a high energy guy. Because actually, after we sat down at lunch, I told him like on the spot, like I'm committed. And Coach Faulkner, he like stood up and like a chair knocked over, and he just had so much energy. So that's the kind of guy that is going to be lit on the sidelines during the games. If he's on the field, I don't know if he's going to be in the booth on the field, but that's a guy who's really just gonna have a great time, just calling the game, just have a great time just coaching football. So he's a really good guy, and I'm really looking forward to building a relationship with him.
Yeah, and fans have already got to see when they announced Coach Key was going to be the head coach. I don't know if you've seen the video. The players were pumped, and it's a guy I'm sure that you
Yeah.
took away. He's got a lot of passion for the school. Could you see that in that meeting? Him being an alum and wanting to kind of bring Tech back?
Yeah, and just the way from number one, that was like out of all the offers I had, since I've been in the portal, he was the only coach who actually like came out to College Station to meet with me. So that was already big in itself. But just the way he was just talking to me, like it wasn't aggressive in terms of like, like you need to come to Georgia Tech, yada yada yada. But he was really just like respectfully and just confidently just saying just the benefits that are like there if you do decide to come to Georgia Tech. So he really cares about the program. He really cares about the school. As you talked about, like the video when they announced him from interim to being the head coach, those guys really love playing for him, and I was ready to go out there and strap it up for him when he came down to meet with me. So he's a really really cool coach, man, and something I felt like I lacked, from A&M was really just having that player coach relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
we have really good coaches at A&M. I'm not saying anything bad about them, but just I felt like just sitting down and like meeting with him, it felt like it was like the 10th time or like the 15th time we've already met up with each other. So I feel like that says a lot when you're able to develop a relationship with your coaching staff.
When you look at this roster, you look at this team. I mean, you get to play in a premier conference. The ACC's got a lot of talent. But it's no secret this is a team that's trying to build back up. They're trying to get back to a spot, find some stable ground. What do you see when you see Georgia Tech? Obviously, opportunity, like you alluded to. But what do you see when you see this program?
For starters, I just see a hidden treasure, man. I feel like they got the guys in the locker room. They got the guys, they got the coaching staff now. I feel like I wasn't too familiar with the program, because I just been at A&M these last couple of years. But just really sitting down, they have the culture. The culture is there for sure, and just I feel like we're right there on the tip. So I feel like this upcoming season, I know we're not even done with the 2022 season, but I feel like next season, I feel like we can really make some noise in the ACC because like you said, it is a premier conference. But I don't see why we can't be right up there with teams like Clemson and Florida State and teams like that. So, man, I'm just ready to get down there and just get to work, man. Just meet all the guys and, just really just come together as a team.
I know we were talking about it and mentioning some names of a lot of guys from A&M into the portal. What's your role now? Are you kind of a recruiter for guys in the portal? What do you take on now as you get ready? You got to finish out obviously your degree. You told me earlier you're going to be enrolling in the summer, so you kind of taking on the recruiting role and kind of pitching it to other guys in the portal.
Yeah, man. So, A&M, we had like 20 to 21 guys in the portal. So now that I made that I made it official that I'm gonna be at Georgia Tech. I'm really trying to just get guys to come with me. So, obviously I've been having talks with some of my teammates that I played with at A&M, and Georgia Tech is one of their top schools. So I would be lying if I said that I'm the only kid from A&M going to Georgia Tech. So, in the next coming days, I know the portal's still crazy. A lot of guys are in and out the portal, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see some more A&M kids down at Georgia Tech.
That'll excite the fan base. And you're taking an official visit. Are you coming this weekend?
Yeah, I'll be there Thursday. Yeah, I'll be leaving on Saturday. So Thursday through Saturday.
Gotcha. Let's talk. Obviously, you're a guy who dabbles in the podcast world. You had the Texas A&M one. For players like yourself that want to have that brand, have that image, what does Atlanta offer? I mean, I think that's got to be one of those things where you can connect with a lot of people. Would that kind of go into the decision making process as well?
Yeah, so like I said, I do. I have aspirations of playing in the NFL, but I feel like I've always been a guy who has always tried to, shape into a well-rounded, just human being in general. So, here's a funny story. So, when we were at lunch yesterday, Coach Key, he got up from the table and like
Mm-hmm.
walked away from like 10 minutes because they actually brought up the podcast. They were like, "You got a podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got a podcast." And so they had asked me like, "Oh, like what I want to do with that?" So I was like, "Yeah, like I want to get into broadcasting." And then they were like, Turner Sports is like right across the street. And I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, like I'm familiar with that." And so then I'm talking to Coach Faulkner. He gets up for like 10 minutes, right? He comes back to the table and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I was just on the phone with an executive from Turner Sports, and I just told him that you might be coming to Georgia Tech." So I was like what? So like, man, just and like you said, just the opportunities that the city of Atlanta offers, just after football and just off the field, I feel like are second to none in the country. So Atlanta is a city that is constantly growing and just in business ventures and just companies and things like that. So just I don't see why not, and I don't see why anyone would not want to come to Georgia Tech.
Yeah, and if you guys can, find that on the field success, like you talked about, I mean, this is a place that could really blow up. Kind of last question for you. I shot you a text last night when we were talking about this, and a certain coach who loves your film, and you talked about it earlier. One of your roommates coached him and was around him. He texted me and said, "Man, this kid's
Yeah.
fast, and he's got some playmaking ability. So, what should Tech fans know about Chase Lane when he's on the field? What do you feel like you fit best in? I know you kind of an inside, but you can also play the outside as well."
Yeah. So at A&M, I played inside and outside. I was able to play all over the field because I'm a smart football player, and I feel like just playing under Coach Jimbo Fisher really allowed me to just grow a deeper understanding of the game. But like I kind of said earlier, I don't feel like I got that opportunity. So I'm just saying that I'm hungry as hell. I'm really trying to go down there and make my mark on the program. And I've kind of seen it on Twitter. People saying like, "Oh, he's a great leader. He's a great locker room guy." But and I appreciate that and I respect that. But I'm really trying to just show these fans and to show the rest of the country that I can be a top receiver in the country. And that's my goals. That's always my goals. And I'm really just hungry and ready to show the fans just what I can do in the field.
Chase, I think one of the biggest things that I was able to see when you posted your announcement, a lot of A&M fans had a lot of good things to say about you. And I think for fans at Tech, that shows, hey, like you said, you're never not going to take the compliments of, hey, he's a good locker room guy. He's got a man of high character. But I know you're excited to kind of showcase what you can do on the field as well. Anything else? I know you shot a tweet out. Is there a motto? Is there a saying? So, yeah, to hell with Georgia is the big one, and so I know that
Okay.
you're going to be saying that a lot, and that's going to be the big one, man. Can you guys take down Georgia? Which is, look, you got one of their offensive staff members, and y'all are building something really special over there that I know you're excited about.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it, man. If y'all see me down there in Atlanta, don't hesitate to say what's up to me, man. But I'm really excited, and I feel like I made the right decision.
That's Chase Lane. Chase, appreciate it as always, man. Best of luck to you getting through finals. That's not easy. Get through it. Enjoy Christmas, and then I know you're going to be planning for next year in Atlanta. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.